coronavirus. It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
So this is a awkward situation. I'm gonna pull up because, like I was saying, we had a segment before how Eric Adams is implanting evidence on homeless people and clearing their junk out, clearing their lives away, throwing away their birth certificates, destroying people's lives. This is not. He's learning from example.
Destroying the lives of people whose lives are already destroyed.
So I want to share this one clip. It's a shocker to me. And you were like, how is this a virus segment? We're talking about homeless encampments being cleared out. How is this a virus segment? I'm going to get to that. But first, I want to play this one clip. Mind you, this is in Sacramento, California. And this is like even more devastating. They're raking people's shit. They're raking people's whatever's left of their lives. They're raking it. It's the garbage. So here's one clip I want to play for you guys. That's happening soon.
Dozens of people were clearing out a homeless camp today in Sacramento.
I'm going to pray that there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
A lot of people don't know where they're going. It's just, I've never seen them just come and take everything from us.
The city says they had to clear out the camp for safety reasons to do some repair work on the property on the corner of Howe Avenue and Fair Oaks Boulevard. They say it's all due to a new lease agreement. KCRA has learned it's actually a group of property owners in the area who joined together to take over the land, saying they plan to improve it.
KCRA 3's Lizzie Mitri has a look at what it could soon look like and the motivation behind it.
So this is how they're doing it in Sacramento.
Crews raked things up
I can't hear you.
and cleared things out in this area of Sacramento at Fair Oaks Boulevard and Howe Avenue, where the city says about 30 people have been camping. People like Lisa Louise Cook.
I'm going to pray that there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
The city.
See what she said? There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. So you're clearing people's lives away, and you're not giving them any options. This was happening all across the country right now.
No, but that's how you improve the neighborhood, though. You know, just if you clear away the people you don't want to look at, your neighborhood's now better.
So,
but they gave her a jacket that like she could be seen and not hit by a truck. So I guess that's something, right?
Visited the site dozens of times over the past several months to offer services to people living here. A homeless encampment Michelle Belcher has watched grow.
The middle of COVID, things started getting really crazy.
Belcher lives in an apartment across the street with her 4 kids and says it's become a safety concern.
And my son opened the door and there was a homeless man sleeping in front of my door with a pocket knife in his hand. So when my son opened the door, it scared him, and the guy turned around with the knife out.
Even the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office said it was concerned, launching an investigation earlier this year into the conditions and impacts on criminal activity. But the city says the cleanup
We're really happy to get that witness.
It's because of a new lease agreement.
Hell yeah.
The city wants to sell this land, but that could still take a while. So until they do, an association of unnamed property owners join together to take over.
The agreement
Unnamed
says
property
they
owners.
$250 a month to improve the property and thereby improve.
Because that solidifies. Pause that a second. That solidifies their superiority over everybody else. See, you see, they're not just regular people. Then they're property owners, and therefore there are several levels above, and that's why this is okay. They're superior to everyone else.
So this is crazy to me. Like, improve the visitor experience to his businesses and other businesses nearby. Forget the lives of
It's
human
all
beings.
about that money, baby.
Yeah, forget human beings who are crying because their lives are being
But
thrown
first,
in the
the city
garbage.
has to repair the water, irrigation, and sewer systems and put up a 6-foot-tall iron fence. Work it plans to begin now that the area is clear.
I'm
Jesus.
hoping it gets better.
Yeah, they would have fixed the sewage so they can just wash all the homeless people into the sewers.
KCRA 3 News.
Now, Belcher says that she's hopeful, but she also has concerns that today's cleanup didn't actually do anything to solve the problem for those who are in homeless situations. Some of the campers just moved their tents across the street.
What? Yo, that's what the lady said. And like he said it for her. You didn't have, that's a weird local news shit they do sometimes.
And like she said, there's nowhere to go. Right? Like you successfully destroyed their lives, right? You made them They're not just housing insecure. They don't have a home at all. This is like the final destination before death. And you want to fuck with those people some more. Well, we want to improve the area by getting rid of them.
And working on the sewer.
And where are they supposed to go? Like another planet? Like
that's some. Like, how insulting can you be? We're clearing this camp out of human beings so we can help, reconstruct the sewer.
And they tried to demonize the homeless people by singling out one guy who was terrified. Nobody sleeps with a pocket knife in their hand unless they're terrified. Okay,
you don't sleep with a pocket knife.
I've carried a pocket knife once, and you was there. Remember?
Yeah, that's because we were in like dicey situations.
Exactly.
You're not carrying a pocket knife because you're playing shoots and ladders. That's not
right.
Yeah.
I mean, but that kind of proves my point, right? Like, they're trying to, look at this nefarious homeless man looking for small children to come out of their houses so they can wave their knives around. Like, come on, son. Like, we know that that's not what it is. I mean, the safety issue, I get it. So I'm not mitigating that. I'm not like dismissing that. But it's like I just suspect that they went and they found this woman. They're like, yeah, we got this reason to like displace the homeless people. See, look, we could get to demonize this guy sleeping outside in fear. And we could turn him into a villain, because it's not our economic system.
Yeah.
That's the villain here.
Yeah. So I want to share speaking of villains. So remember about the COVID relief funds that happened, the CARES Act, the PPP loans, all that stuff. They got sent out to the world. To people, to help people during the worst moments of the pandemic. Tom Brady got some money. Shake Shack got some money. The Lakers got some money. And then Sacramento also got some money. The same county that we showed you where they're clearing out homeless people for a sewer line. So I want to show this clip for you guys, this update of the story. So this is a twist to it. It's the same county that's clearing out homeless people, not offering any alternatives for them where they can go. This is the problem that's happening in the same county.
You know what else is a twist? That hairline. He needs to fire his barber.
Federal COVID-19
what is that?
Year-long investigation just released by the Sacramento County grand jury.
No, look at his hairline. That's just distracting.
The grand jury for the headline. The hairline.
Convene that shit.
Down for us, and he's live from the Sacramento County Administration Building. Giacomo, what are some of the claims?
Well, essentially, it all comes down to this. Back in 2020, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors was facing projected $170 million.
The same Sacramento advisors who are selling property to unknown business owners. So keep that in mind.
Budget shortfall and a use it or lose it clause with federal CARES Act funding. Essentially, county looters chose to float that funding to essentially cover the shortfall, as well as use that CARES Act money with a plan to somehow swap it out later. A decision was made again back in 2020, and that's when the grand jury received a report from a citizen complaint. That's what sparked.
Well, he said this flew over my head. What? Swap it out? What the fuck are you talking about?
Like this is a bait and switch shit. I could have swore the word looter came out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I mean, it sounds like looting. I mean, he's right to use it. I don't think he was trying to say it though, but no.
Investigation about the use of those funds, and I want to make clear tonight that the grand jury investigation that came out today is not citing any specific legal wrongdoing, but it is calling into question whether or not county leaders were good stewards of that money.
Doesn't sound like it, bro. They're clearing out homeless people.
As we stabilize our budget, we're still responding to the public health emergency if there's something that's needed.
Federal CARES Act dollars could be used for public safety, but shifting nearly 80% of the $180 million in COVID relief funds to support the sheriff's office drew
oh my God.
Yeah, how much did he say?
Oh my God.
80%. Yo.
$180 million. I mean, did I hear that right?
Yeah, I got to rewind that. That money just went over my head. How much money they?
And look how fat that guy is. He ate some of that money.
$80 million
Look at this guy.
Funds to support the sheriff's office drew major criticism amid the ongoing pandemic in August 2020.
We have $108 million to achieve containment to meet this public health emergency, but we do not have containment. We have a disease spread without the data and the staff to attack it.
Now it's a focal point for the Sacramento County grand jury's latest investigation, which claims decisions made were to benefit county coffers rather than the health of county residents, citing that leaders didn't make a plan and claims funds were later transferred back.
I mean, they got a homeless town in the middle of Sacramento, so of course
some of those politicians about to be the newest residents. For real.
Confusing at best. Community activist Barry Axius with Voice of the Youth says we're now dealing with the consequences of an outcry that fell on deaf ears.
So now that we're dealing with a own epidemic in gun violence, now we're dealing with homelessness to an all-time high. Now we're dealing with unemployment at an all-time high. You kind of see where we could have filled in the blanks.
Now the grand jury's calling for an independent audit of the county's CARES Act spending. Sacramento County's board is expected to respond within 60 days.
Who loses is the communities that needed the money.
Probably cut them off too.
If you steal like a box of Raisin Bran from fucking a supermarket, you're not getting 60 days. They respond to like, why you stole the box of Raisin Bran. You're getting 60. You're getting 60. You're getting 60 milliseconds to show your hands. Yeah, exactly. You're getting 60 days in lockup for stealing the. But if you steal $180 million, you get 60 days to get your story straight. So this shows you the kind of privilege that you get when it comes to law and order. So.
The Sacramento County Board Supervisor Don Natoli, who was directly involved with that decision, and he tells me the attempt there was to preserve funding, and he believes there was no wrongdoing by the board. In fact, he says he believes they were acting in the best interest of all residents in Sacramento County.
Yeah, we gave the police a lot of money. That's the best interest.
Here are Giacomo Luca live tonight with the updates.
They didn't give any of that money to that guy's barber, though.
No, you can tell, right? It's sad.
They withheld a lot of that money from the area barbershops. I'm sorry, that shit looks terrible, man.
You need some.
You look like a 8-year-old drew that shit across his forehead.
It looks like what black people look like in cartoons. That's what he looks like.
Lucy Bell, 71 on Twitch, says when removal of a class of undesirable people is described as cleansing, where exactly in history does that place us? That is a good fucking question.
Yeah, I mean that takes it to a
I
dark.
don't have an answer to.
We're floating into a dark time, Lucy Bell. Like we're using these terms of cleansing. We have a mayor who compared himself to Jesus. To why he's clearing encampments. This is some dangerous language people are using right now. So I totally agree with you. And people are just letting this slide with no accountability. If a politician went up and said he was like Jesus, clearing encampments out, then that's a red flag right there. So
well, it's a direct comparison, not a principal comparison, because remember that Jesus did drive out a group of people in an area before.
Oh yeah.
Not for the same reasons though. They were driving out merchants from a religious institution.
Yeah, because they're ripping.
But he believes that it's the same holiness. It's the same. You're driving out the destitute and you're harming people who have already been harmed. We're not buying it, sir. Yeah. We're not buying it.
That's our guidance right now. So we actually have someone who was on CBS today. If you have a friend JB who was near it, but we're gonna wrap this virus segment up just to show you this example of like what happened in Sacramento. We have an example of them stealing all this money, giving 80% to the cops. We don't know what happened to the 20%. Obviously, it didn't go to the homeless people or the man with the pocket knife.
No, they got a couple of N95 masks, but they gave them all to the police too.
They gave them to the police. So we just use.
You see how fat that cop was? He can't chase me. That dude has been eating the whole pandemic. Like, yo, we got 80% of 180 mil. We eating good tonight.
That's probably why that homeless man got a pocket knife, because the cop probably stole his food from him.
Yo, he stole the food that the homeless guy got out of got out of a dumpster. Like, now we'll take that.
So that's the virus segment. Hopefully you guys.
Lucy Bell said quarantine chunk cop.
So that's the virus segment. Hopefully you guys can catch Black Power Magic on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook until Zuckerberg sends the drones to destroy us. And then Dr. Regina, he's live talking shit and playing games on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and that's the virus stealing your money, have you homeless in the streets edition.